لبيك لبيك يا أبا عبد الله لبيك لبيك يا أبا عبد الله. All my days I give in your name, having you my desire.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome, dear viewers, to the Arbaeen Talk exclusively on Imam Hussein TV. It is a brand new type of show. I hope up until now you've enjoyed the show. You've gained some insights from some regular guys who have experience when it comes to walking from Najaf towards Karbala during the time of Arbaeen. My name is Ali Fadhil, a co-host of this show. Beside me on my left is the co-hosts from the remaining all the other shows. Syed.
Syed Mohsen, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. And next to him is
Amir Reza, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. And our special guest for tonight is a regular of the channel behind the screens, does a lot of fantastic work, is a multitasker, and that is Sayyid Hassan al-Nawab. Assalamu alaikum, Sayyidina.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are you? Hope all is well.
Not bad, not bad. Thanks for having me on.
No problem at all. No problem at all. So, as it is with the Arbaeen Talk, we're all talking about Arbaeen. So, up until now, we have exhausted every single topic. So if you want an insight into what it's like when it comes to the beginnings, leaving London, what to pack, what to expect, what the walk is going to be like, who you're going to see, what the Ataba is like, we've discussed everything. So literally over the last maybe 6 or 7 episodes, I'm not sure, you can have it's like a lesson. It's like literally lesson by lesson.
Insights.
An insight into what the Arbaeen walk is about. So today is no difference. And today we're talking about different types of topics. One of them, the first that comes up is a lot of people ask this question when they go towards the shrines specifically, especially those who go off season. We'll bring it back to Arbaeen, but those who go off season, they go towards the shrine, they see the grandeur of the shrine, the gold, the silver, the minarets, and they see, oh wow, how fantastic. It is befitting of the man that is buried there. Great,
100%.
great. The moment they step out of the vicinity of the shrine, things are very, very different. There is a lot of poverty. And one of the striking things is that Imam Ali is the father of orphans. So technically, if he's the father of orphans, his city should be rid of all orphans. Now, of course, it's not a Shia problem. It's not an Ahlul Bayt problem. It's not a shrine admin problem. It could be, obviously, it could be. That's the question mark as well. It could actually be. But what is it? What kind of solutions could we propose in order to kind of, I guess, take care of some of the poverty-stricken areas within the vicinity of these shrines?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Do the shrines do they offer free food throughout the whole day?
I mean, I know.
Oh, Mudif. Outside season.
No, they have Mudif throughout the whole year.
Yeah, throughout the whole year, right?
Yeah, but I think just in Arbaeen, they have to make more because of the amount of people that are coming.
But they still have Mudif in the shrines. In the shrines. Also a mawkib. So you have an official Ataba mawkib, right?
Yeah.
There
is all over.
There's a building, I think it's like a few minutes walk away from the shrine, where you go, you line up, and then they'll give you food there, and there's like other stuff. There's like showers and stuff like that. But I know the shrine itself have their own kitchen.
Yeah.
And they also make food like three times a day.
Yeah.
But like, should they be doing it 24 hours a day? That's a question. But
we touched upon this, I think, in previous episodes in terms of 24/7 food service. That's difficult to do, bro.
It is difficult, but obviously
Yeah,
they
but
have the manpower. They should have the manpower to do that.
Technically, on the Mashaya, I think there is not 1 minute or 1 second on the Mashaya you cannot get food from somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
On the Mashaya.
Yeah.
Not every mokib can operate 24/7.
Yeah.
However,
you'll have something.
There's always a mokib.
Could be a kakaya, it could be a biscuit, it could be a tea.
There's always
it could
a
be
mokib somewhere
that you
working,
consume.
giving food. Yeah.
But one of the reasons why we brought on Said Hassan is that I've had from a personal experience, and a lot of the guys coming from London have had a personal experience as well that haven't gone as part of a tour group and they've come together. Said Hassan is our go-to
Ah.
A to Z when it comes to the city of Karbala. MashaAllah.
MashaAllah.
One
man on the ground.
One time a friend of mine was telling me he was walking with Said Hassan and he felt like a king. Because he's like, it was off season.
I think he was
He
like
was-
trying to, yeah, he's trying to.
He was exaggerating a bit, but he's walking and Said Hassan's like, like people on the streets of like, Salam Sayyidina, Tfadalo, like, please come sit with us.
that day.
Salam alaikum
Only,
Sayyidina,
like,
Salam
couple
alaikum
of guys
Sayyidina,
said
Salam
hi
alaikum
to me.
Sayyidina.
It was like a couple of guys. They said hi
No,
to you.
the
and
thing is,
now
though,
maybe
with that
like
being said,
someone.
I've walked with you. Like we've come back from RA okay, but
I've-
walking,
yeah.
I feel
walked-
privileged.
Yeah, I walked with you. MashaAllah.
It's
But
a-
look,
say
this
it,
is the
mashallah.
this
Thank
is the
you, guys.
status.
Thank
It's the
you.
status of a Khalid. And look, he would wake up in the morning, MashaAllah. And I'm not saying it because he's in front of us, so I've said this to other people as well. He'd wake up in the morning, and there'll be a barrage of requests. Where can I get this food? Where can I get this toiletry from? Where can I get the pharmacy? Where is the nearest restaurant? Where is this? Where, and he would be answering every single one of them.
Wow.
And he would make the schedule. He would make the schedule for those Zuwar. He said, okay, in the morning, you guys are going to have Baglo Dihin in this place. If anyone doesn't know what Baglo Dihin is, you need to go to Iraq to find out. You need
Yeah,
to.
but
Farsi is
for me,
broccoli
for me, it's like, you know.
Why'd you do it, Syed?
Yeah, so it's like, so first thing I'd say is the way I've been brought up.
Yeah.
Like my family, my cousins, and my friends, close friends who I know in Karbala,
Yeah.
they've been brought up in a way where they have to, not have to, but they serve.
Yeah.
And that's all they know.
Yeah.
And for me, like in London, alhamdulillah, I've been, it's tawfiq as well.
Yeah.
Like I've had the opportunity to serve a lot in the community.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I've managed to adapt that whenever I go to Karbala, I want to do the same there as well.
Yeah.
So I've been
So
pushed into
you
that
do
already.
you do a lot of that service stuff here in London,
Yeah.
but you replicate that in Karbala. Is that something like do you go into Karbala knowing that there's going to be people asking you and requesting?
So when I was young, when I went to Karbala when I was young,
Yeah.
obviously I didn't live there. So I went when I was like 14, 15 for the first time.
Oh, okay.
So as I grew up, like we used to go a lot. My dad used to take us like every year and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
after that, when I grew a bit older,
So were
I
you
could
like
travel
me
a
when
lot.
you used to go in the summer? You'd go for 2 months.
Yeah,
straight?
yeah. So
Yeah.
they'll take us 2 months and say, let's
Chill.
go ziyarah, chill.
Just
and
chill. Yeah.
yeah, sit at home. But like I used to see people serving others when I was young. So I really like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I started learning the ways and how they used to do it and where to go and where to take people,
Yeah.
learning the story of what places to take people and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
So I really enjoyed it. So I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? When I grow older, I would love for my friends to come and enjoy.
And bear in mind,
and
look,
get an experience.
You're quite similar to many other people over there as well, in the sense that look, you don't get paid for what you do. Not that it's even a factor, but you don't get paid for what you do. It is tiring. It is taxing. You do sometimes. You might want to take a nap, but you get a random phone call from someone saying, "Oh, I need help on something. Can you sort me out?" So that is it's all part and parcel of the service. We ask all of our guests, what was your first Arbaeen experience like?
So
first
my first
memory of
urban
Arbaeen.
experience was actually with brother Nouri Sardar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went
Oh,
with
wow.
him, and I think he was his first
Nouri
as
is
well.
By the way,
Yeah.
we have to get Nouri on some sort of podcast because
Yeah.
he has
He's got
got
plenty of
stories.
stories.
He's got
hasn't he?
stories,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Like,
he does, definitely.
I was when I was young and I went with Nouri, it was his
Speaking
first
to the
time,
mic more.
and he really loved it.
Yeah.
And I actually walked with him for the first time the whole way,
Wow.
and he was like, "Look, this is my first year, and I'm definitely coming every year after that."
MashaAllah.
Because of, and this was what, 15 years ago, 16 years ago.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, it was a very long time ago, and we were young, and you know, I don't know, I shouldn't say this, but we're really energetic.
Yeah.
Like, younger, much younger, but he loved it, and I loved it as well. So we were like to each other, look, every year we have to come together, and so alhamdulillah, for like 2-3 years, year after year, we went together, and yeah, it was.
Has he asked you this year? Oh, Wagwan.
No, man, Nouri's a married man now, and he
Oh, things have changed.
Things have changed. You know, let's get a phone call from him first. No, but look, we were young, and it was our first time, and we were like, when it was before,
Yeah.
things were different. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it wasn't a lot of people,
Yeah.
and it was much colder.
Mm.
So we used to walk in the Mashaya wearing
Oh,
jackets,
jackets,
and
yeah.
hoodies and stuff like
Would have
that.
been slightly easier.
So and the food was different. Like there was a big difference. It
Was
wasn't that busy, by the way.
Was it more traditional, less commercial back then?
Yeah, it was very, very much
Very basic.
Yeah,
The shower
very
was
basic.
very,
Okay.
So what would you say is the biggest difference between 15 years ago and now?
I'd say obviously the amount of people that go,
Okay.
how busy it is.
Yeah.
Maybe the biggest difference would be the experience that you get during like the time you spend inside Karbala.
Okay.
So the mawaqif that come year by year, it's been adapting. People are doing new things.
Okay.
You're seeing new things.
Okay.
Even like whether it's right or wrong, new types of latom.
Okay.
And obviously before, like Turks never used to come.
Okay.
So we used to see the Turkish side of doing,
Azar.
azar and stuff like that. They used to come out on the road with the sticks. I don't even see that.
I remember
So
those,
like
yeah.
They got some
used-
nice rituals.
They have some nice stuff. So we started seeing new things year by year. So I'd say what's changed is the stuff that you see when you get to Karbala. That's one of the biggest aspects I see.
That's nice. So you've often then come across different types of Zuwar as well.
Yeah.
How do you deal? And that's another thing that we can kind of open up to everyone else. How do you guys deal with difficult Zuwar? You get certain nationalities that obviously have a bit of a preconceived notion of how difficult they can be, without mentioning the names. But like, how do you deal with?
There was a certain community where I found very difficult. It got to a point where I started ignoring them. I was just like, just leave me alone.
Yeah, but can you though?
Boro, that way.
But listen, let's not talk about the specific nationalities. But I'm saying there are difficult Zuwar, all right?
Yeah.
Some of them might be pushy, shovey. Some of them might not listen. Some of them might even take I've had people of different nationalities take the mick out of me, and I'm in Iraq. Like, bro, are you seriously? Like, really here? Like, you're a guest in technically my country, bro.
Your city,
exactly.
My city as well. But aside from that, like, I've heard from you, and I've seen you and I've seen all of us actually deal with difficult people in the sense that I have a mantra, I have an ethos. Sadrak wasi' or qalbak wasi'. Like, you have to have an open chest, an open heart, no matter what the situation is. You just need to have, like, you're more or less doing khidmah with a smile on your face.
Yeah, so basically our fathers, when we're serving here in London, in the Husseyniyat, our elders, they've taught us in a way, if you're going to serve, you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to take on a lot of, like, comments and criticisms. So you're going to know how to deal with that as you grow up. Yeah. So when we're like, for example, for us, me and you, I don't know if you guys have been to Hajj yet. There's certain criteria that you can't do when you're like, you can't get angry, you can't shout. So I've sort of implemented that kind of thing in Iraq as well.
Very nice.
Yeah. Okay. So like because obviously it's a muqaddas. Karbala is muqaddas. Najaf is muqaddas. Kadhimiya, Iraq as a whole is a muqaddas area.
Very
holy. It's a holy country. So you'd want to implement some sort of criteria, like a certain criteria, where you would wanna,
very
try.
Yeah, wallah, you're right. Actually, I mean, just to follow up on that, Hajj, you're right. Hajj has many different things that if you were to do, it would make your Hajj void. And you would have to kind of repeat it or pay kafara and stuff like that. So it does teach you discipline. It does teach you patience. And that's a very good analogy, actually, when it comes to khidmah. There's a certain criteria that you need to follow. Like, you can't be losing your temper telling someone to go away or something like that. Not in Karbala, right?
I think it's like following the example of the Ahl Bayt, right?
Of course.
How they would treat the people around them. You have to implement the same thing, and Hajj is a great example.
I mean, there's a lot of analogies and narrations that always compare, but they say Hajj and Arbaeen and
Ziyarah
the Ziyarah. There's always a somewhat sort of comparison with Umrah and Hajj. Every step you take is Hajj, every Umrah. So like, you'd want to take that on board and basically implement some sort of, I mean,
again, this is very, very insightful, because it's part of a lot of people asking, how do I prepare myself for Arbaeen? And they, you can give them the physical side of things, where you need to pack 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Be careful of the heat. Be careful of what you eat. Or that's the physical side. But less is said actually from a more spiritual side. Spiritually, how do you prepare for Arbaeen? A lot of the responses I hear is that you have to get your heart ready to receive Imam Hussein alayhi salam, which is in line with what we're saying. Make your chest wider, make your heart wider for you to be able to deal with different people. Part of the spirituality aspect of it is just to let go of ego, let go of yourself. Someone pushed you, it's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world. Is it really the end of the world? Someone pushed you? I mean, look, it's a very congested place.
It's, you know what it is?
Or what is it? Something's bugging you, say it. What is it?
No, it is like, it's like, okay, you know, when you get pushed and shoved and stuff, you can understand. But it's not the way you get pushed. It's like,
you get the odd elbow. You get the odd elbow.
I've got elbow in the face. I've been pushed in the back. This and that, like, hard. And I'm like, yo, like, what's
Do you know what my pet peeve of like it really grinds at me? This is gone, by the way. Yeah, it's gone. My pet peeve. I don't think we need any for today. My pet peeve is when you're waiting in line in teftish.
Okay.
There's two things that happen. There's anyone that doesn't know what teftish means. Teftish is
Security checkpoint.
the security checkpoints. You get one like every 100 meters or so. My biggest pet peeve is two things. Number one, I could be waiting in line, and there's a line going on, and you get the one that comes from the side here. Basically, they funnel in. When they funnel in, they come into a single file.
Yeah.
All right. That first thing, I get it. People all just like kind of
understandable.
That's understandable.
There's like 10.
Yes.
Yeah, some of them are 4, some of the 2, some of the 10.
Then we get into the line, and there's a guy who is like millimeters behind you.
Yeah.
It's like, my brother, you could create that space.
And it's hot and sticky.
It's hot, it's sticky, it's stuffy, and this
It's
guy's
not even that, they
breathing
push
behind
you
my
forward,
back.
like, you can make a difference.
Yeah.
Bro,
Like,
yo,
go.
Personal
my
space.
space.
Yeah, personal. They don't understand
And they
personal
push
space.
you as well. It's like, my brother, are you serious? Like, you can create that space by just standing firm for half a second, and once I've gone, then you can come behind. But that's
let's give him the excuse of he's very eager to get to the
excited,
ride.
yeah.
He's excited.
I'll give him the
It could be his first time as
It
well.
could be his
know.
first time.
You know, sometimes be like, I want to be that excited guy as well. Like, not push forward and be like
It
that.
should
But
only-
like,
yeah, exactly.
sometimes I'm like, okay, guys, slow down. There's people in front of me. I can't go faster.
Yeah,
Give me some space. At the same time, like, you know, I'm excited too. Let's all go.
Yeah, like
we all quit.
I mean, we've all seen. I've seen a lot of people when they come for the first time. They're out. They don't know what's going on. They're crying their eyes out, and they're trying to run down, food checkpoints, and they even go past. There's an area where you're not allowed to go. There's only for cars and for like
the bigger checkpoints, like buggies and stuff.
So they're actually walking through there just to get past this checkpoint because it's too busy there, just to get to the shrine.
But by the way, I've seen this behavior on planes. Never mind. That is Have you experienced that?
Yeah. Again, my brother, we're going to get on the plane and we're going to leave at the same time. Whether you get on first or you get 30th, the plane is still going to leave at the same time. And we're going to arrive at the same time. And even when you get off the plane, everyone's like up and they're all just waiting. Do you know what? I was like, I look at them, I think, why are you standing up and waiting?
Yeah.
Like, I sit down and I wait for the road to actually move.
Yeah.
Then I get
you
up.
can understand.
And
Yeah.
it's like,
And if you think about it, like I've seen previous podcasts that you guys have done, and like you guys have said, there's people who have sold their houses just to do market.
Khidmah,
I think in the same way, people who are visiting Karbala, it's not cheap. So they spend a lot of money to get there.
Yeah.
Like I know in I think in US or in Canada or Australia,
we're going to thousands, man.
We're talking about thousands.
We're talking, yeah.
So there might be people there to take their family. They have to spend about £10,000, for example, and that's a lot. So they might be selling their cars or just to get there. So imagine how eager they are through those checkpoints.
So based on crowd control, right? We're talking about crowds and how congested they are, and you got to be patient, right? That's one of the main things that you have to be if you're a Zair of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Can the government, the Ataba, do something about crowd control? I've seen some advancements in the sense that there's those little
bridges,
footbridges.
Yeah.
Those footbridges, fine. I've seen the underground
the
tunnel.
The escalator tunnel.
I like they open up the basements.
The basement.
That is a very good addition because now they sleep there as well. They can rest there,
also
AC and stuff like that. So
also technically, I think you're closer to the grave as well.
Yes.
You're closer to the body,
this is where the actual body is.
Yeah.
So
is that always pack out, Arbaeen?
That's pack out.
There is no space anywhere.
No, as soon as I'd say a week or 10 days before Arbaeen, it's rammed. Like
sometimes they even close the basement. They're like closed. I've seen this 5 days to Arbaeen. Like the basement's closed, no one can go. Yeah, and they don't let anybody.
Really. And I heard from last year they've been doing this new construction work, the Sahn al-Aqila they called it,
Okay.
the shrine
Yes.
of Al-Aqila Zainab alayhi
Yeah,
salam.
yeah.
So
Is that
they-
close to completion? Wait, but
So, yeah.
Ben Kalamik, who was there? You were Muharram.
Yeah.
Is that anywhere near close to being done?
Where is it?
So,
I don't
okay.
even-
So between Mukhayyam and Imam Hussein alayhi salam.
Baba Qibla.
Oh,
there's
that one.
there's
Opposite-
that
it's
big
opposite
plot of
Mukhayyam.
land they've been
Yeah,
constructed.
right in front of
Right in front of
Mukhayyam.
Mukhayyam.
no.
That's not okay.
5
There's
years.
another area. There's another area as well, between Shara Imam Ali that used to be Shara Imam
Yeah,
Ali.
that's
Yeah.
nowhere near. That's just land now.
That's
Yeah.
just land now.
It's
That's just
flattened
land
out,
because
huh?
basically they've been buying the hotels and the shops in
yeah,
the area.
Yeah, they bought them
I
out.
think they've bought it all out.
Okay.
They bought it all out.
Yeah.
But it's land as far as like last year, Arbaeen. But I remember I was reading an article, and they said that the shrine of Al-Aqila, the courtyard, and they've made it into a way where they can bring in like 4,000 Zuwar.
Mm.
To,
That's the
to
idea.
stay, and they've bought in ACs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
the idea.
that's a few stories, right? There's going to be three,
I think
4
it's three.
levels,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 2 or 3.
Because they've dug quite deep into it.
It's
have,
it's
yeah.
similar to if you go to Samara, the basement. I think that's what they do, like a big
Yeah.
hall that's nice and
Exactly.
cool.
Ah, I see.
People can lay down there, rest and so
That's
forth.
nice.
I
I
think
think
that's
they're
the
going to
idea behind it.
expand Bain al-Haramain. So you know how you've got, you know how you got the doors of the shrine, right? And you go enter the courtyard, you enter the Sahan.
Yeah.
You think they're going to expand the Sahan outwards? So literally,
I mean, that's
so
the plan.
Are they, I mean,
Make it wider.
we asked this question to another guy. If you had a shop and you owned land, Ben Haramain, on the right or the left hand side, there are shops. There's
Yeah.
baklawa shops and dihina shops and all of that. That shop there, if you had land and the Ataba offered you, would you sell?
I mean, if you ask me personally, yeah, I'd sell.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd definitely sell because obviously, look.
What would be your motive?
what's your price? Name your price.
I don't-
I mean, it can go two
look,
ways.
the prices inside the city next to the shrine are very very like,
Of course.
expensive.
Rewardable.
But footfall on
I
that
think
place. is
last
gonna be
time I
crazy.
spoke to my dad, he was telling me about 10 million a meter.
Wow.
10 million what?
Dinar. A meter.
That's
What's that?
close to
What's
like
that?
that's
Shrine.
close to like $9 million.
Director, do the maths.
Oh,
10
no,
million dinar in
10
pounds.
million dinar is not. No, it's in the thousands.
10 million dinar? Is this Iraqi you're talking about?
Yeah, but that's like a meter.
Okay.
But this is, I don't know, like I spoke, this is a few years ago. My dad, it's definitely gone up, but I don't know.
But there's still
wow,
shops
that's
there.
expensive. It's about 5,400
Per square meter.
per square meter. That's expensive, man.
Is that expensive?
Yeah.
How many square meters is it? 70. Usually it's like 70.
Yeah,
80,
usually
right?
about 70,
70 square meter?
if not
What's that
more.
like
By
for?
the way,
Looking at
I
about
think
378
I think it's gone up.
That's all right, to be honest. I thought they were in the
For-
millions.
For Karbala.
Yeah, I thought they were in the millions.
But the thing is, you pay for the land, right? You don't pay for each floor. So if you imagine you got like the land is 50 square meters. Most people in this country, for example, they'll count every floor. and be like,
I've heard stories that shops have been offered $1 million, $2 million,
US dollars.
something ridiculous. Yeah, just to relocate.
I think that that's hotels.
Oh, is it hotels
I
that have
think
been
it's
offered
hotels because don't forget the shops that are around Bain Haramain. They're not that big, by the way. They're like
The tiny, yeah.
that? They're tiny.
They're
Yeah,
tiny
I get
huts
that.
thing,
But
yeah.
it's still a location.
they're probably
it's-
2
it's
square meters. Yeah.
one of the best locations in the world. You have millions of people
But
that will go past your shop.
yeah, don't forget. When I spoke to my dad,
Branding-wise,
this
it's
is a few years back. Like it could be about 5 years ago when I asked him about 10 million.
Oh,
It could be much more now.
Hold on. Remember we were saying about how you envisage in 30 years' time.
Mhm.
We had one of the questions. Well, how would you envisage? Obviously, with first and foremost, we hope it's in the presence of the Imam of our time. Number one. Number two, what I don't want to happen is commercialization, where brands and big brands start to
Yeah.
buy advertising areas, and all of a sudden you see like these
Oh,
big
this
billboards.
clock
The thing is, you
tower.
can see that from now though. Look, like that, there's a hotel there, and if
That
you,
I don't. These I don't mind.
That's not their
In a
fault,
way.
is it? They're quite far back
actually
as
helps
well.
the Zaire because
Yeah.
obviously they can't see in front of them because of how many people there are. But because the building's so high, they can
They
just
can read
follow
the
the
name.
building and
Yeah.
follow the name. of
And
the
that
building.
is why we have you on the show, because you're our go-to Karbala guy. So that I didn't know that piece of information. That would be sick. Yeah, like I can envisage. This is
What?
such a beautiful shot, by the way.
that's live, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, but I can envisage
Mad.
like you have big billboards and suddenly you have brands that are there and you have like a big, I don't know,
Come to your local Distasha shop.
Yeah,
buy it.
know what I mean?
I'm thinking
Like,
of like
no.
Times Square
Piccadilly
kind
Circle.
of.
Oh,
that kind of stuff.
Imagine that.
No,
Imagine
no,
that.
no, no. I
Well,
hope.
has
I
happened in
hope-
Mecca? Hasn't happened in Mecca, has it? Or Medina?
Not not.
I don't know
big-
about now. I haven't been for like 10
Not in the
years.
not on the holy.
I mean, I was
sites.
there.
I
Not
haven't
on the
seen
holy
on-
sites.
Not on the
no,
holy
no.
sites.
Yeah,
I've
if
seen
it
other
hasn't
places-
happened there, it won't
Yeah.
happen there.
But they have this, obviously, the big clock tower thing they
Yeah.
have in Mecca, which overshadows the Kaaba.
Yeah.
I guess, but I mean, they can make the same argument for that. Taif
One
Hotel, for
question:
example.
do you think they need to raise the dome or make the dome bigger?
That's another question as well.
So
I think they do.
they are planning, by the way, they are planning to raise the dome of Imam Hussein, especially
Yeah,
because
those little domes.
not the actual dome. They want to raise it,
Yeah,
but
Look,
obviously it's not that easy. But they have made it in their plans to bring it up.
because from far, I remember back in the day, from far they didn't have those black domes there across.
Yeah.
These domes obviously are for the courtyard area.
Yeah.
These domes from afar, they kind of half block the view
They
Yeah,
do.
you can hardly see
of
the dome.
the
Yeah.
dome.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. So I wanna I want an experience like we go to Samarra. Have you seen that
Oh, it's
corner?
beautiful.
The corner when you turn, where there's the restrooms, but then you have to turn the corner, and all of a sudden the shrine's right in
Yeah,
front of you.
yeah.
The big massive dome is right in front
You
of you.
can even see it on the way.
You
In
can
the
see it on the
distance.
way.
It's nice and big and
Because I think one of
yeah.
the biggest domes that we have across all of the Ahlul Bayt is
Yeah.
the Samarra dome, if I'm
Wow,
not mistaken.
mashallah.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest
I
one.
think it is the
Yeah,
biggest.
it is. It is. Oh yeah, it definitely is. Because I remember they made the article about it.
Yeah,
I think the thing is that what it is though, like if you look at Karbala, like somewhere around it, there's not two skyscraper
That's
buildings.
true.
No.
That's true as well.
Here, as soon as you start walking on Shara Qabli, you start walking, you're surrounded
Massive
by
hotels.
skyscrapers.
Yeah.
The only thing clear is the road going to
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Everything else is built to a building.
I just wish they keep that road leading towards Imam Hussein. I just wish they keep it clear, like absolutely clear of everything. Anything electrical lines, any branding, anything like that. I wish in the future they just keep it absolutely clear so that when they do go on to Shara al-Qibla, the focus and the focal point is the shrine of Imam Hussein.
The
Inshallah.
thing is, I think they should. What Said Hassan saying, if they increase the height, it makes a big difference. Because as I'm walking, the footpath bridge there, that's strategically great. That blocks it straight
That
away.
blocks it as well.
And I know that
It's
footpath is
eyesore.
great. It's beautiful.
Convenient.
It's convenient and it helps with the walk and the
Zuwar,
stuff.
yeah.
But
eyesore.
it blocks half the view and you can't see anything.
So I remember last year I was really interested in the construction work that they were doing.
Oh yeah,
So I was watching that YouTube videos that the Ataba were doing,
nice.
and basically they're building 4 different courtyards.
Mashallah.
One of them was the Al-Aqila courtyard,
Yeah.
and they're doing Imam Hassan for the Abbas, I think, and it's all like in different areas around Bain Haramain.
Yeah.
And what they want to do is they want to connect these courtyards to the shrine. So what happens is that they're gonna obviously widen the area of the shrine,
Yeah.
and when that happens, obviously they're gonna start breaking down
Crushing
a
it.
lot more.
Was it like
Yeah.
what I was saying when they were
hotels.
expanding the actual courtyard, making the door?
Yeah,
outwards?
definitely. So what they want to do is they want to continue buying and not non-stop buying until
Karbala's all the shrine.
I think they're gonna reach. What's the name of that road? Shara al-Jumhuriyah.
Oh,
Jamhuriya, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that whole place is gonna be a sahan.
So, so they've
Yeah.
already bought out the
No,
that-
they've already reached Jamhuriya.
no they reached Shara Imam Ali. So Shara Imam Ali.
Oh, they're gonna expand
So that
way.
area
Okay,
after
okay,
that,
okay, yeah,
they're buying that now.
But there's a big
So all
mall.
of that,
There's a big newly.
that's not new in Shara
Is it
al-Jumhuriyah.
not?
That's been there for about 10 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think they
But
will.
10 years is.
I think that will go.
That will go.
That will go. So Shara al-Jumhuriyah will be
The
basically
start of the
that.
sahan.
Yeah, exactly. And from then it will be
that
marble.
would be beautiful.
And
That
then
would be
you'll
nice.
have to. I don't think.
So that would be as big as Medina then.
I mean, that's the plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan. That's
Yeah.
the plan. I think they
Because
will
Medina's
because
massive.
50
imagine
entrances.
now it's so you're going back to crowd control.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to do that because
Yeah.
now with the amount of space they have, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's really
Yeah,
not
it's
enough.
not.
Every single alleyway, no matter how
Yeah.
small,
100%.
is just filled with Zuwar.
Bro, I remember
bizarre.
last year they were sleeping on those alleyways.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like there was not enough
any corner that
tents.
you find. Yeah.
There's not enough like they even like I was watching today, they've booked out schools in the area
Okay.
so they can put people to sleep inside.
Aha.
And-
So
and-
we were talking about this. Remember?
Yeah.
Do you know Shara Alqami
Yeah.
on Abu Fadl Abbas's
Yes,
side?
yes.
Right. Shara Alqami. Right before it here on this side,
Yeah.
there's a big kind of open area.
Yeah.
Right. Every single year I see it, there's always Zuwar just sleeping there. And I'm thinking to myself, imagine you could just uplift these guys, find a place you can put them. But apparently they're doing that.
I mean they're trying their best. It's not enough. But
But a lot of these people might have a choice and say, listen, like, I'm not getting on a shuttle going 10 kilometers away from.
No,
the
it's
shrine.
closer, much closer.
it's not easy, bro. The amount of people that are coming in, and the houses around the shrine and the buildings around the shrine could not hold the amount of people that are coming. So you're gonna have I don't know for how long you're gonna have people sleeping on roads, bro.
So you know how you have like a lot of international companies, consultancies who feel like they can do it better. Do you reckon if they had more control over the Ataba, they'd be able to do something better than what the Ataba is doing now?
I don't think so.
Okay, you don't think so? You think?
Ataba, there's one thing what the Ataba can do, and then there's what the others have to offer as well.
Okay.
So it's like, I think the Ataba does what it can with the land that it has.
Yeah.
And then the locals and the Muwakib and stuff, they're doing what they can with what power that they have.
Yeah.
I think really, I think the government needs to get more involved.
Don't get me wrong, Ataba, the Iraqis, and we know how Iraqis work. But honestly, I believe they're really in advance. Like they're advancing their work.
Okay.
And imagine when I was watching those videos about construction, they actually brought machinery and engineers. World-class engineers from America, from Germany. They brought Germans, and they've actually brought Chinese people to come and help them
legit
do these constructions for them. And like one of the things they had was like to dig 20 meters down into Karbala's ground, and Karbala is full of water. It's on water.
Yeah.
So one of the issues they had was if we dig
Too deep.
20 meters down, obviously there's going to be water. So how are we going to be able to create walls to stop the water from coming in to the shrine area? So they didn't know what to do. They tried different ways of doing it.
It's
really tough.
It's really
So
a mind baffler.
they
need
literally
top
bought
engineers.
machinery, thousands of dollars they spent on these, machinery and engineers from like Germany to come in and do this for them.
What about restricting visas?
You cannot.
Personally, I don't think there should be visas for Arbaeen time. As in, it should be free. Like you should be given permission straight away if you want to come and do ziyarah of Arbaeen.
So we've seen that once you give countries a certain leeway, they're gonna like.
The thing is, right, so look, when it comes to visas, you have to look at, there's two things about it. Obviously, it's not going to be stamping coming for free. I understand, like right now, it's currently not visa free, it's visa on arrival, which is similar, in my opinion, to visa free.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't need to do any application. You just turn up, fill in your name details, get a stamp, and you go through.
But
You got to pay for it.
I
You got
got
50. I pay $80.
It's like $75, $80.
Is it?
Yeah.
$80 they charge me
It's
every
£50,
time.
$80. Give
Oh,
or
50 quid, yeah.
It's still 50 quid.
Okay.
But to handle that amount of people and the security and the people to come in, to handle that, Iraq doesn't have that strong infrastructure.
Yeah.
They're like,
But they can do a really small investment, right, in a stamp. So as soon as you come, what are you here for? Boom, go.
Yeah, but think about it this way. Imagine you're sitting down with top officials and to do with health and safety, for example, and you're saying, based on our infrastructure of Iraq, we can only bring in and deal with 30 million, let's say, or 20 million, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to do something where if you do,
I see where you're coming from. No, you're right.
if you do free visas, how many millions more than the amount of visas that we already get are going to come in?
The visa amount is not really a deterrent for anyone. Someone's paying $2,000 to come to get $80
deterrent though.
Come on, $80 not going to make a difference for him.
I don't think the issue is
I
visa.
think restrict it. I say every country 10,000.
What people coming from the country?
Okay.
Yeah.
Bro, Iran,
you can't do that.
This year, 5 million are coming.
MashaAllah.
Okay, so you can't say 10,000.
You can't say 10,000.
The thing is, you can't do that. If you look at proportion, there's a lot of Shia in Iran, a lot of Shia in Pakistan, a lot of Shia in Afghanistan. If you look at, for example, UK, London alone is a lot of Shia. But you go to other countries, they might not have much Shia there. So like France, for example, might not have the same amount of numbers as
population
Sweden
might be low,
or as
they can have a low allocation.
Denmark, or even as UK or Canada. So like,
I remember last year, and the year before that, I used to say to like a few friends of mine, I don't see a lot of Afghans around. And like, why is that? So we used to wait until after Arbaeen, and all of a sudden, like a rush of Afghans.
So why is that fair?
After Arbaeen.
Why is that fair?
Yeah, it's really, really unfair. But
So why would they do that?
Maybe that's another reason. Maybe that's another reason. If they open doors to other countries,
Well, but hold on.
where
how
they know they'll get an influx, a mad influx of.
Bro, how many Afghans really are going to be Shia coming to Iraq? Come on, like how much?
I think you'd be surprised.
10,000?
There's a lot of Afghan Shias.
Okay,
Yeah.
10,000.
Yeah, I think
more,
way
than
more,
that.
way more.
At least
I don't know.
minimum
I'm-
a million. Minimum.
Millions.
And you're going to tell me 1 million people from Afghanistan are going to come to
Why
towards
not?
Iraq?
Why not?
Yeah,
If
they'll come
they're
back
coming
up.
from
It's
Iran,
not-
if they're
yeah.
coming from Pakistan.
Imagine
Easy.
you do one visa free. You do visa free access. You get a couple
Okay, but
tour
why-
groups. Guys, give me $200, $300. One coach. Let's go.
But don't forget, they don't need to fly to Iraq.
Drive.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll
they
drive.
can
They'll
drive.
drive.
So
Yeah.
it's not
It's a
expensive
12-hour,
for them.
15-hour
No, it
either.
won't be
drive.
expensive. And besides, these guys will hop on coach after coach after coach.
Exactly.
even if they
I've
get
seen
there.
from Iran. Sorry, Mohsen. I've
You
seen
done it.
from Iran people come. You know these massive dump truck lorries.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
just
yeah.
all stand there.
Yeah,
just that
yeah,
you can fit.
That's on Mashaya, bro.
My
Yeah,
God,
I've
the
stood in that.
dedication.
I've been in that as well.
Yeah.
And you can't see. You can't see.
Yeah.
That's scary.
I'm like jumping out, see where we going.
It's a
It's
good
like
laugh. It's a
a
good
triple
laugh.
That's scary.
HGV truck with
Yeah,
a
yeah,
massive
no, I get it.
flatbed, and
Yeah.
people will travel from that. So I don't think that's like logistically will be an issue.
No, but
Sorry.
okay. So why discriminate against Afghani Shias, for example? Why are they allowed to come in?
I
after?
think they are allowed, but I think they've limited them.
Is it based on the numbers? So, for example, Iran will have 5 million. These are the most Zuwar from an international country. Yeah.
Okay, so allocating.
So then after that will be, I don't know, Pakistan, for example, with say 2 million.
I think it's just health and safety and geopolitics.
No, by the way, there's a lot
Okay, so do you reckon politics is involved in
of.
this?
Yeah.
I think
I totally understand what you're saying in terms of like the infrastructure and how many people they can cater for. But Shari'an, are we allowed to stop someone from doing the ziyarah?
Absolutely not.
of
we
Imam
have
Hussein alayhi
narrations
salam?
to say that Karbala is the land of Imam Hussein.
Khalas.
Done
It's
and
owned
dusted.
by Imam Hussein, right?
It's owned by Imam
Yeah,
Hussein.
yeah, he bought the land. It's his, man.
So,
It's not owned by
so we
anyone.
can't, so we
By the
can't
way,
really
on that
stop
note-
people.
Okay,
Coming.
but-
But there's
whoa.
health, there's safety.
Totally
there's-
understand.
No,
agree,
but
agree with you.
one second. Which land specifically is owned by Imam al-Hussein?
Well,
Are we talking
it's-
about the courtyard?
No,
So I
it's
heard it goes far.
Four
I heard it
kilometers.
goes like
It's 4 kilometers from the grave. 4 kilometers in each direction.
Okay, so Imam
That's what
Hussein.
I've heard.
Okay. So Imam Hussein doesn't.
I think it's further away than 4
Yeah?
kilometers, by the way. Yeah.
Fine. Let's just say the whole of Karbala. The whole of Karbala city is
Yeah.
owned by Imam Hussein.
Yeah.
Outside of that, who owns it? The government. So they
Yeah.
have a say who comes into the country,
Yes.
The country.
Correct.
not the city.
Yeah.
It's still.
Correct.
I think this goes back.
It's a tough one.
I think it goes back to given
Nasty,
look the recent
nasty.
economical issues of Iraq over the last 30 years of all the things they face, and this country coming in, this country doing this,
And terrorism.
but before the whole terrorism, way before that, back in the 40s and 30s, it was British ruled, and all of that issues coming on, it makes Iraq a very sensitive place for safety.
Yeah.
For what's happened, especially as the world of the Middle East, it's not, people might not feel comfortable, and also I think them putting a little barrier of charging for a visa might just
I'm going to throw this out there as well, and it might be a bit controversial, but there are certain countries that are known for terrorism. Afghanistan, for example.
Not to say that they're Shia terrorists, but
No, not Shia. Sorry, not Shia. But like, if they did open the borders, that's what I'm trying to say. If they did open the borders,
safety in terms of
that kind
inflicting.
of safety. Yeah, so anyone could come
Okay.
in. But I mean,
They've done some security type of measures
Yeah.
where they've. I don't know how much these work. They bought that antenna thing, which
I don't know.
we know
But
don't
the
work.
thing
properly,
is-
but subhanallah, there's not been an incident inside Karbala for.
Yeah, alhamdulillah,
years.
I
alhamdulillah.
think the last one was that security guard who grabbed the guy, wasn't it?
I'm not
Yeah, how many
sure.
years ago was that?
I think about 5, 6.
Yeah,
I remember there was one.
but that was
year-
outside Karbala. That was
Yeah,
inside.
yeah, oh,
I remember there was one that was right outside Mukhayyam. Right outside
Wow.
Mukhayyam.
How long?
This was maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah, those days.
and
it was
those
different.
it was just after the Suqut, right? Just after the tyrant, 2003 onwards. I think maybe 3-4 years, and then Iraq suddenly saw an influx of Zuwar. So what did everyone do? They built hotels. So you just saw hotels popping up every left, right, and center. There was a hotel. But then what happened was, and I remember them saying they were relying on the tourism
Yeah.
of a certain country, right? They were literally living off that country, coming into Iraq and spending. But then the terrorist bomb, the terrorist incident happened, and then for maybe a good year, especially that country were like, we're not coming in just in case. It was very, very unsafe for them. Very, very unsafe for them. So then they actually said we suffered. Like hotels are just sitting there
Obviously, yeah.
empty. Like they had to sell it on because they couldn't deal with it. So you're right. Look, there is safety. Iraq as a country welcomes, love of God, 30 million in one go. They're gonna have to think about safety and security of the Zuwar. Alhamdulillah, up until now, nothing has happened, right?
I mean, to be fair, the security is really good. Whether it's at the borders of Iraq, borders of cities and so forth.
Yeah.
There's plenty of taftishes. There's so many, and everyone's like in the military. Everyone has guardings. Like always got like a military uniform on and so forth.
Yeah.
So they're quite well trained and they know what they're looking for. But you need to speak to Minhal. Minhal's got stories. He's got stories of. I'm not going to say the word, but you know, it goes boom, and it was in the Quran, and it managed to get inside the shrine. God knows how it didn't detonate.
Wow.
No way.
Really?
Yeah, he's got loads because he's spoken to some security guards and stuff. That's his mates.
Yeah.
So they've got loads of stories of miracles, basically. These slipped under the radar, or they managed to get through. But you know, what I mean, alhamdulillah, Abu Abdullah saved them.
No, like speaking of security guards, I was walking towards the shrine. I was going for a taftish. Like, okay, I've got a camera. Like, you can't go through. And while I'm waiting to be rescued from one of my colleagues at Imam Hussein TV, who's got an actual badge saying he's allowed with a camera. Half these security guards aren't actually from Karbala.
No, they're not.
They might be Iraqi going way back when, but they're like, some guys like, I'm in Russia studying, petroleum engineering. I remember he's still my friend on Instagram, and he's like,
Really?
and half of these people aren't actually, they're volunteers, so to speak.
Yeah.
They come in from abroad.
But in Karbala itself, it's not.
No, in Karbala itself, this was near the Haram of Abu Fadhil.
Really?
Yeah, and the guy there, he's like, I moved.
I've always known them to be Iraqis.
Yeah,
I've never
seen
not
them
just
not
that,
Iraq.
from Karbala itself.
So-
Karbala?
So he's Iraqi.
They know faces, they know.
They know the locals. Yeah,
Thing
They
is,
need to be locals.
So there was like 4 of them there, or 5 of them there. And this was, I think, near Shara Qibla for Hazrat Abbas, where they've got the massive X-ray machine and whatnot. There's 4 or 5 of them there.
okay.
One is like, he's like, I've been in Russia for the last 5 years studying petroleum.
Well, maybe because he's probably trained to do that specific
I think
job.
he's like, I've got friends. He's my friend. I've known him for God. So maybe it's like that. But I've seen a lot of people who maybe they're Karbala'i, but they've left, came to London or go to this place, study, and they moved on with their lives. But they come back for Arbaeen to volunteer and serve, which is baffling.
Mashallah.
So lastly, I guess what we wanted to kind of cover has been a lot. There's 50 million people that is predicted to be coming into.
Whoa. What was it last year? 30, 35?
Bro, I don't think there's a country anywhere in the world
people,
that can, in a space of 2-3 weeks, can accommodate and
by the way,
receive that amount of people.
I think 50 million is more than the population of Iraq itself.
Yeah, it is.
As in your
Iraq is 55.
No, Iraq is hitting 70, isn't it?
It used to be 30, 40 million.
Is it?
I don't know what the latest figures are. This is going back
In
about
2023 was 43 million.
43 million.
Iraq population.
Yeah, 43
In
million.
2023, 43 million,
Yeah.
500,000.
Yeah.
Probably.
But
That sounds
by the
about
way, we're all in agreement that the majority, and I would say 90% of the Zuwar are Iraqi, right?
No.
Yes.
Not 90%.
Not 90%. No, I saw it at least 50. Sure.
No.
No, come on, bro.
I think
90.
If 50
I know,
million,
I think-
1 second. If
No, it's not
last
90.
year,
It's not 90%.
It's
okay,
not 90.
if
Can't-
last year, 1 second. If last year 30 million people came, yeah.
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 All right. How many? Let's just say the top nationality to come, Iranians. How many Iranians?
At least 5.
I say 5.
Okay.
Five.
They're the top nationality.
Yeah.
Who
I'll
else?
say more.
More.
I think 10 million.
No, it's estimated to be 5 million this year as well.
Really?
Because there's
Just 5 million?
3,000 flights
Oh,
back and forth from Iran and Iraq.
And Mehran border we saw earlier.
And we saw that. All right, fine. Say 5 million.
I say like everyone else, put them together, will be another 2 or 3 million.
No,
So,
No
you're
one
talking, so you're talking. You're not even hitting 10 million.
Yeah.
So 20 million of them are Iraqis. It's gotta be, man.
I think
I'd say about 10 to 15 million are Iraqis.
Yeah, I'd agree with
Up
that.
to 60%.
Yeah.
And the rest, the other half, are just
All different
mix of
nationalities?
mix of other
think so?
nationalities and Iranians.
I don't know. I
So
want to do the
I-
maths later on.
think-
Like, if you think of people coming from the UK, is that 1,000, 2,000?
What, from the UK?
No, more than that.
More?
Just from London, you get what?
10.
2,000.
I think
No,
yeah.
more, man.
Would it be
Come
10
on,
10,000? 10,000 people
Ten-
from the
Nah,
UK?
Baba, come
The whole
on.
of UK?
The whole
Scotland.
UK, 10,000
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Right, by the
yeah.
way.
Do you know how?
Yeah.
Do you know? Okay,
Yeah.
so you know how many flights go to all of these transit locations, whether it's Istanbul, Bahrain, Qatar.
Yeah.
During this period, they've got twice as many flights.
Mm.
Okay.
So, and that's
No,
just
but
London.
I still
That's
don't
just
thi-
London alone.
I don't think. Look, let's just say in a room. Let's go Husseiniya. Yeah. How many people are coming to Husseiniya? 300 people.
Yeah.
What other Husseiniya do you know that the majority of them are gonna go?
Yeah, but look at the population. Like, for example, certain mosques and Husseinias, their attendee or people there is at least 6,000 people. We our Husseiniya is small compared to some other centers.
Look, think about it this way. I read a stat. I read a stat today that said we receive 88 nationalities.
Wow.
Okay.
MashaAllah. Did you have a list?
So
88 nationalities.
Did you have a list?
no, they didn't have
Hold
a
on.
list. I
88
didn't go-
nationalities.
88 nationalities.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
And
So hold on. Anyone coming into the country, they should know, right? They should have a count.
A
So they should know.
passport. Yeah, they should.
I'm sure they should have account. Yeah, because obviously
A bit of a Google search, you'll find out. Yani.
you probably will. Probably will.
So that's one thing. If you put in the comments, guys, if you know how many people, some statistics outside of Iraq that are coming into Iraq over a 3-week period, so about 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the day of Arbaeen, let us know in the comments because we'd love to find out. And on that note, we want to make some closing remarks, closing comments. First of all, I go to my guest, Syed Hassan and Nawab.
So inshallah, I pray that we all get the chance to go again
Ilahi
every
ya
year and everyone
Inshallah.
else. And inshallah, if the channel is always there for anyone that wants to go. If they have any questions, obviously myself, you, Mohsen, and Reza, we've been there numerous years. They can come to the offices in London if they're in London, wherever they are. They can contact us, and inshallah.
And if
we'll be
anyone's
there.
watching and is in Karbala and they need a bit of help, you can catch Syed Hassan Nawab. Shall I give my
I'm gonna
socials?
get thousands of calls now.
Shall I give your socials?
No,
Yeah, let's
please
give
don't.
socials. They'll follow you. Nawabs.
Yeah.
Nawabz.
He'll be
Just find him.
He'll be at Shara Qibla
Yeah,
outside channel. He's
just
waiting
find
for you.
him, message him, and say, listen, I need help with 1, 2, and 3. And I have no doubt that you'll be able to help them, right?
By all means, I don't mind.
Inshallah.
They're
Ya
coming
Rab.
the thousands.
Ya
That's
Rab.
fine.
Ya Rab. Syed Mohsen.
On what Syed Hassan was saying, for those of you who are planning to go, the Ataba speak many languages. Best place to go to get help is go to the Ataba itself. Imam Hussein TV, we have offices in Najaf, in Karbala, and on the Mashaya, poll 1114. I will be there on the poll, inshallah. So come by, come see us, inshallah, and inshallah we'll be able to assist you as well.
And Amir.
Anyone who's actually going Arbaeen, post on your stories. Post, advertise, tell your friends, tell your family. There's a lot of people who still can't go and they live through what you post on your stories. I went once, I constantly post and someone was like, I lived through your story. So anyone going, post for the people who can't go.
Yeah.
Share that journey.
And on that note, I want to say one final time, because this is the last episode of the Arbaeen Talk. We're going to take a break, and inshallah, based on your feedback, we'll be able to come back on. Probably not called the Arbaeen Talk, but we will have a similar podcast show. It's been a huge success, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, based on your feedback and the feedback of the channel and the viewers. So we'd love to thank everyone that's taken part. I also want to thank specifically our co-host Minhal, who is he had to travel to Karbala before us. We thank him for his time. Thank Amir, thank Syed Mohsen, we thank Syed Hassan, all of the guests that have appeared on the Arbaeen Talk. And of course, this show wouldn't be what it is without the work that goes on behind the scenes. So from our director, Mohammed Fahad, our visual director, Salman, I can never get his second name. Salman brother. He has been instrumental in mixing everything. And it's such a headache, I know, because when you're sitting there, this person talks, that person talks, you have to get that angle. So we'd love to thank him. And of course, we have to thank our equipment IT guy. Is that what it's called?
Engineer.
Broadcast engineer, Amir Reza Khorsanzadeh.
Karimi.
Severix.
I was close.
And Haj Qasim, well, he's brought us together.
And of course, the director, the overall director of Imam Hussein Media Group, Haj Qasim.
And shout out to the producer.
And the producer. Thank
Shout
you very much. Right. The last thing that I want to say is that Imam Hussein alayhi salam stood on the plains of Karbala on the 10th day of Muharram, on the day of Ashura. There was no one beside him, no one to his left, no one to his right, only the screaming women and children behind him. He faced the enemies, okay, in that heat the afternoon heat, he faced the enemies, he looked towards them. Although he was looking towards them, he made probably one of the most inspiring calls that transcended time and it transcended space to reach us every single year. And that is Hal min Nasirin Yansuruna. Is there anyone out there to answer the call? Is there anyone out there to not just answer the call, to help us, to follow in the footsteps of Imam al-Hussein, to follow in the footsteps of Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam? And myself, inshallah, if we have the opportunity, and my guests and all the viewers at home, inshallah, you're able to answer the call of Imam Hussein alayhi salam by standing in front of his shrine and saying Labbaika ya Hussein.
Labbaika ya Hussein.
And inshallah, we will see you soon. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
لبيك لبيك يا أبا عبد الله لبيك لبيك يا أبا عبد الله All my days I give in your name, having you my desire.